Well, hello everybody, Jason W. New Age Revolution Cave. Sorry for the different view. Liam broke my tripod, so I have to improvise. I know this is not the view that everybody enjoys. In fact, why don't I, hang on a second, let me make this more visually appealing for you. Visually iconic, as they say. Is that better? Oh, no, that's not better, because you can only see half of me, and I know the majority, there we go. I know the majority of you are here just for my face. So we sit next to Grandma's plant that still smells like Grandma, which is odd because it's not Grandma's. All right, it's LJN's Revisited. It is Sunday. And we're going to do something unprecedented on the channel today. We're going to look at two figures that are not a tag team. Because the one figure, to me, is definitely in the bottom 5 figures that LJN ever produced. Not because it's a bad character or anything, or even a bad figure. I just don't care about it. Probably because I was not heavily involved in play at this particular era of wrestling. Or maybe it was 87. I don't know. Anyway, let's take a look at the first figure. LJN's Revisited, if you're not familiar, is our opportunity to take a look at the greatest action figure line of all time, the LJN Wrestling Superstars. Coincidentally enough, from LJN. It's interesting how they have LJN. They're called LJN figures, and they're made from LJN company. It's weird. It's like Lou Gehrig's disease. Wild. What are we going to do today? So the room, I know I'm jumping all over the place. The room's looking good. There's going to be more changes. The garage is the place to be. That's what I like to call it, the place to be. And I'm going to hang some more shelves up in the garage. And we're going to put more stuff up there because I don't know. I'm rambling. I don't know. Hasbro's are coming down here. Ghostbusters and He-Man are going to have a diorama down here. In fact, I just purchased something that's going to jumpstart the Ghostbusters diorama. I feel like I need to be doing a little bit something more with G.I. Joe, because they are, their play sets are so good. The Terradrome and the G.I. Joe headquarters are so beautiful. They need not be on the floor with nothing going on. So we're going to do something with those two. Anyway, let's get back to LJN's. That's what you tuned in for. The first figure that we're going to look at, if I can find a date on it, 1988. Like I've said before, the beginning of the end of the greatest toy line of all time. First, we're going to take a look at the Doctor of Style, Slick. Here he is. The Doctor of Style, Slick. Now, it comes with an accessory, so that's always nice. We have the hat. But I just don't care. I don't care. He managed who? He managed, I'm trying to think when he came in. Butch Reed, who we could use a figure of. Akeem, Boss Man, in like 88, 89, Twin Towers. Who else did Slick manage? I don't remember. I'm looking forward to watching it again, but I don't remember, and I don't care. It's Slick. I don't think I did anything with him as a kid. It's a real thin figure, as it should be. We'll take a closer look at it in a minute, but I don't have any stories. I don't have anything to say about Slick, but here he is, Slick. All right, because I don't want a 4-minute video, let's talk about the next figure in the 1988 line. A better figure that could have been better. The One-Man Gang. Now, I am pretty sure that the One-Man Gang was part of the Toys R Us dump bin purchase. I'm pretty sure it was Billy Jack Haynes, Ken Patera, One-Man Gang, and like 2 others, I think. But here he is, the One-Man Gang. That again, I think could have been a better figure. What ruins the figure for me is the play pose. The play poses going forward, the figures going forward, with the exception of Duggan, struggle for playability. I don't know where it went wrong or where they just stopped putting in effort. But this is another figure that has the odd undercoating. This figure happens to have a black base, and so, like we've said before, anytime it loses paint, the black shines through. And for Gang, it's usually fists and face. As you can see here, it's off on the nose. Now, I thought the one-man Gang in the UWF was where he excelled. In fact, I think one-man Gang probably should have stayed in the UWF, NWA, Southern Territory type of wrestling. I think that's where he would have excelled. Coming to Vinceland, he was never anything to be taken seriously, and then they did the Akeem gimmick, which just was the literal definition of a gimmick. If you go back and you watch old UWF with one-man Gang against Hacksaw Duggan and one-man Gang, I think, against Terry Gordy, that's where it's good stuff. So I could see one-man Gang going over to NWA in 87, 88, and feuding with Dusty Rhodes and having bloody chain matches with Dusty Rhodes, bull rope matches. That's where I think one-man Gang would have excelled. Coming to WWF, I don't have a ton of memories of him. I know he was in the first Survivor Series. Again, I'm very much looking forward to watching that as we watch through all my wrestling footage. As much as I love 84 and 85, I've never seen 86, 87, 88, 89, and beyond. I've never seen it except for when I watched it live. So I'm looking forward to watching those years through adult eyes. I'm looking forward to seeing when the one-man Gang first came in. I think it was part of the WWF's, collection of Bill Watts guys, Duggan, Terry Taylor, Gang, DiBiase, and guys like that. But here he is, one-man Gang. Now, I did actually meet one-man Gang way early in my autograph hunting days. There was a store in Buffalo, in an old mall in Buffalo that I don't even think is there anymore. And they would bring in wrestlers every couple of months, and I would go and make the drive. And this, we're talking 2002 or so. I would go to this mall in Buffalo and meet. That's where I met Sergeant Slaughter. That's where I met Virgil, and he signed my WWF title unasked, right? That's where I met Gang. That's where I met Jerry the King Lawler. Gail Kim I met there. I don't know, but I also met one-man Gang, and he was pretty cool at the time. He had the chain, and he'd wrap the chain around your neck and your fist, and he'd have a good photo with you, and it was a great photo. So I met one-man Gang. Yeah, like I said, I think the figure could have been better. I think the character could have been used better, but not in the WWF. Like I said, I would have loved to have seen him in the NWA having bloody matches with Dusty Rhodes. So did I use him as a kid? Sure. I think very occasionally. I did not do much with the one-man Gang in the LJN Fed. In fact, the next upcoming figures, really, the only ones that I did anything with were Duggan, DiBiase, and Bossman as a kid. Those were the only figures coming up that I did anything with. But here he is, one-man Gang. Let's take a closer look. Speaking of Duggan, up next is Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Lest you forget, we also talked about the Slickster. We talked about the Slickster, and we talked about one-man Gang. And now we will take a closer look at those figures.
All right, as you may have imagined, the best part of the Slick figure is the custom LJN stand from 4 Left 3D Creations. That's right, head over to Etsy and search out 4 Left 3D Creations for all of your custom LJN stand figure needs. Here he is, the Doctor of Style, who doesn't even stand even lean. He doesn't lean well. He's going to fall. Hang on. Let's take off the hat. So there it is. We can always have love for the LJN figures that have accessories, and there's the Slickster's hat. There he is. He's got a gray base, so any paint loss on the Slickster is going to show up gray paint. Now, I'm not quite sure why there is so much paint loss on this figure. You don't play with the Slickster, but there he is, Slick, the Doctor of Style, the Jive Soul Bro, if you will. Jive Soul Bro. Looking good. It's a good looking figure. You know, he's got the gray suit on. I'm trying to figure out if Slick was a pimp. You know, let's just ask it. Let's just ask the question here on the New 80s Revolution. Was Slick a pimp character, in quotation marks, in the WWF? There he is, yellow tie. Look at him from the back. There he is, Slick. Like I said, fine looking figure. The figure's fine. Look, this is where he doesn't stand. See, you can't even like, yeah, Slickster. Come on. Come on. There you go. We're gonna, there we go. All right, there's Slick. Didn't have much to do with Slickster as a kid. Never really cared for him. The character, never cared for him as a good guy, the Reverend Slick. Just never cared. Slick just never did it for me. And there he goes. Perfect ending to the Slickster. Now we come over here and we look at, again, the custom LJN stand from 4 Left 3D Creations for the One Man Gang. And here he is, the One Man Gang. Better looking figure, but play pose. Play pose is takes away from this figure. The tiny little black eyeballs surrounded by white there kind of throws off the figure a little. Here we've got the paint issues there on the knuckles and the nose. We've got the jean vest, which I like. We've got the classic One Man Gang black outfit. You can see the remnants of the skull and crossbones on each shoulder, but guess what's missing? Guess what's missing? The gang tattoo. There is no gang, One Man Gang head tattoo. He's got that cool mohawk going down his back, and there he is. So I like the figure, with the exception of the play pose. I like the character, just not in the WWF. I think One Man Gang could have been a Bruiser Brody style bad guy. And then once Hakeem hit, it was downhill from there. And we can't say, well, he made money, because you know what? According to like some GoFundMe's, One Man Gang is broke. So, you can't be like, One Man Gang made him, set him for life. Hakeem set it for life. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. All right, there you go. One Man Gang. Up next will be Hacksaw Duggan, a very, very played with figure in the LJN days. Hey, what do you say we end this whole Street Fighter gimmick and turn you into a caricature, African Dream, Hakeem? What say you, my brother? I don't know. Sorry about that. All right, we'll see you next time. Good night now.